Do you think the media is biased? Maybe they're leaving something out, or there's something they're not telling you. Now, you have a source for the truth in the news. W. Dean Shook, End Time News. Your connection to the signs of the times.
Oh, God. Mr. President, we have a national emergency.
This is one of the things that we can shoot first and ask questions later. Normally you can't do that.
All of a sudden these trees started moving out of the way. They parted for me. And then I came out into this opening, and there where I saw Jesus Christ.
Back in 1927, an American socialist, Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program. He is more imminent.
James Madison, in 1788, speaking to the Virginia Convention, said, "Since the general civilization of mankind, I believe there are more instances of the abridgment of the freedom of the people by gradual and silent encroachment of those in power than by violent and sudden usurpations."
When men were free.
Broadcasting live from a secret location buried deep below the earth. You're about to make a connection to the signs of the times. W. Dean Shook is live on the air right now.
It's End Time News. I'm W. Dean Shook, bringing you the news the mainstream media and the government never want you to hear. Have you ever noticed that when President Obama makes any kind of speech that changes anything, it's always veiled with lies and secrets? Well, it's my job to bring you those lies and those secrets so that you're informed and you know what the truth really is. On today's program, we're going to talk about whether or not America is truly a beacon of freedom in the world. We're also going to talk about a Republican who is a greedy politician who's got his fingers in this amnesty for his own gain. We're going to talk about that. I also want to talk about this new movie, Saving Christmas, from Kirk Cameron. Seems to be wildly popular. Let's talk about the truth from that. So let's get to it. This is End Time News. I'm your host, W. Dean Shook, and let's let the games begin. America, the last beacon of freedom in the world today. Or is it? America's assessment of their personal freedom have been significantly declining under President Obama. According to a new study from the Legatum Institute in London, the United States now ranks below 20 other countries on that measure. The research shows that citizens of countries, including France, Costa Rica, feel that they enjoy more personal freedom than Americans. The Washington Examiner reported this morning that representatives of the Legatum Institute in the U.S. this week to promote the 6th edition of their Prosperity Index. The index aims to measure aspects of prosperity that typically cross domestic product measurements. They don't include things like entrepreneurship or opportunity, education, or social capital. The freedom scores are based on polling data from 2013 indicating citizens' satisfaction with the nation's handling of civil liberties, freedom of choice, tolerance, ethnic minorities, and tolerance of immigrants. Polling data was provided by Gallup World Poll Service. The index is noted for the way it measures how free people feel. Now, unlike other freedom that measures freedom by comparing government policies, in this ranking, America ranks number 21. Ahead of America is New Zealand, Norway, Australia, Iceland, Canada, Sweden, the Netherlands, Uruguay, Denmark, the UK, Ireland, Switzerland, Belgium, Germany, Costa Rica, Finland, France, Australia, Malta, Portugal, and coming in at a fantastic number 21 is the United States of America, which is supposed to be the beacon of freedom in the world, which clearly we are not. So I have a suggestion here. Let's not fool ourselves. This is not a good report for Obama. The Legatum Institute spokesman, Christina Adone, told the Washington Examiner in the 2010 report that the U.S. was ranked 9th in personal freedom in 2009. But that ranking has since fallen to 21, with all of these other countries ahead of us in personal freedom. The national overall freedom score has declined by 17% since 2009, with a 22% drop in combined civil liberties and free choice. One of the 8 categories in the index, personal freedom, was America's second lowest performing relative to other countries. The U.S. had its lowest ranking when it came to the safety and security. That's a broad measure of how threatened citizens feel in, say, walking late at night or expressing their opinion. We ranked 31st out of 142 countries. Let's not lie to ourselves or others. We are no longer a beacon of freedom in the world. We are no longer the freest nation on earth. We are not a country where life and liberty reign freely. And we are certainly not an example of freedom to the rest of the world. It's no wonder that other countries reject the idea of America, of imposing our values on them. You see, Mr. Obama has shot himself in the foot. When he took office, he took the office of the leader of the free world. Now he has, through his own actions, I might add, become the leader of what is now almost equal with any other third world nation. I'll say this, though, he's gained a new title. A title that has never been held by any other leader in the history of the world. He is now the world's largest and most successful sheep herder. He commands a herd of sheep numbering almost 325 million. That's right, the American people. And he herds them by poking them with a stick and making the rules as he goes. But President Obama, he feeds them, he clothes them, he offers them a lifestyle where all they have to do to be successful is follow him and not stray off of the beaten path. He leads his sheep to grazing land that's green and fertile. He gives his sheep everything they need, while the shepherd does as he pleases. And he carries a big stick that he calls the IRS. He corrects his sheep with this big stick. It keeps them in line. But behind the scenes, the shepherd keeps a large pack of wolves. These wolves have long, sharp, military-style teeth. They watch from a distance. They keep an eye on the entire flock. Should any sheep get out of line or try to stray from the herd, these wolves swoop in to get them back in line or even take them out if they try to defend themselves. Am I wrong? Think about that. I'll be right back.
You're listening to W. Dean Shook, In Time, Prophecy News, and Current Events. Stay tuned.
Waiting for the winds of change to sweep the clouds away. Waiting for the rainbows.
There is a sense in the world. There's a sense among believers. There's a sense among unbelievers. There's a sense among all peoples that things are unhinged. The Middle East is unhinged with uprisings, revolutions, and where's this heading? How are followers of Jesus to relate to all of these things? How do they relate to biblical prophecy? America is in spiritual, moral crisis. Values are changing, and so rapidly, that have not happened in the history of man. How are level-headed, responsible Christians to relate to the testimony of the biblical prophets and the unfolding of chaos throughout the world? Not just believers are wondering, is this a sign of the end?
GoDaddy offers everything you need to make a name for yourself on the web, from domain names and website builders to complete e-commerce solutions. We've earned our place as the world's #1 accredited domain registrar by delivering world-class products at competitive prices and support them with industry-best services delivered 24/7, 365. We're proud to serve our customers from locations around the world. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com and get your domain name as low as $5.99 a year. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com. Go, Daddy. Go, Daddy.
All right, the corruption in this country is not limited to one political party or the other. They both stink to high heaven. They both have an equal part of this new herd. Breitbart has an exclusive that's reporting that GOP Rep. Hal Rogers, campaign donor, stands to profit from executive amnesty. These are people who have donated to Hal Rogers' campaign and expect results. Well, here's the results. A defense contractor and top campaign contributor to the House Appropriations Committee Chairman Rep. Hal Rogers, a Republican from Kentucky, is in the running to get a contract to print millions of IDs and other government documents associated with the president's planned executive amnesty. Breitbart News has learned this exclusively, that the contractor, General Dynamics, is on the list of interested vendors for a draft solicitation that the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, an agency of the Department of Homeland Security, sent out to vendors in October. Now that the president has gone through with this executive amnesty for millions of illegal aliens, General Dynamics gets the contract. A top official from Breitbart News said that he expects the printing of the documents, including ID cards, work permits, social security cards for illegal aliens, and all of this would occur at a facility inside Chairman Rogers' congressional district in Kentucky. The government facility in Corbin, Kentucky, already prints green cards, work permits, IDs, and other documents for immigrants under long-term multi-million-dollar General Dynamics contract. The facility and its efforts to eliminate the production of fraudulent green card production by including tiny little images of every U.S. president on a green card was profiled by 2011 by Government Security News magazine. That's a trade publication for insiders. He has produced for his donors, at the cost of the American people, he has thrown us under the bus so that his campaign donors can get this big contract. Welcome to America. You see, the greed and corruption goes across the board. All right, I also want to talk about this Kurt Cameron movie, Saving Christmas. You know, let me say something here that, you know, I grew up celebrating Christmas just like every other kid over the last few decades. We're all familiar with the warm feelings, the good food, the family, the friends, the joy we all feel inside this time of year. Cameron's Christmas movie, Saving Christmas, was released in theaters last week for a limited 2-week run. It's a very pro-Christmas tree movie, Cameron said. It's pro-St. Nicholas, pro-Christmas tree, pro-nativity, pro-feasting, dancing, celebration, singing, laughing at Christmas. He said, I do love it. As most Americans do. In the movie, Cameron is charged with giving his brother-in-law a shot of Christmas spirit. Cameron's sister, played by his real sister, Bridget Cameron, is throwing a Christmas party, complete with dinner and decorations. Her husband goes to sulk in the driveway because he thinks the party and modern-day Christmas traditions take away from the true meaning of Christmas. Here's what Cameron says. We go back and reenact some really interesting stuff about the real Santa Claus. We talk about Christmas trees. We talk about the nativity. What I'm trying to help him do is stop listening to the wrong people and understand that Christmas is a reason to celebrate and have joy, not to be a Scrooge. And sometimes we can even be religious Scrooges over things that we are just too uptight about. Cameron said there's no Scroogery going on at this house over the Christmas season. He and his wife, Chelsea Noble, have 6 kids, age 11 to 17.